Here we want to find an explicit formula for f inverse and use it to graph f inverse, f, and the line y equals x on the same screen. To check your work, see whether the graphs of f and f inverses are reflections about the line. So here we have f of x, which is equal to x to the fourth plus 1, where x is greater than or equal to 0. So let's first find the inverse of this function. So we're going to replace f of x to be y, so y is going to equal x to the fourth plus 1. And then we're going to interchange x and y, so x is going to equal y to the fourth plus 1. And then over here, I'm just going to rewrite y to the fourth plus 1 on the left side and set that equal to x. Now we're going to solve for y, so we're going to subtract 1 to both sides. So y to the fourth is equal to x minus 1. And then we're going to take the fourth root on both sides. Now remember, this is a plus or minus, so this becomes y, and so we know that this means that y has to be greater than or equal to 0. So we have to use the positive version of it because of what was given at the beginning. So therefore, it's going to be y, which is the fourth root of x minus 1, and therefore the inverse is equal to the fourth root of x minus 1. So now we want to be able to graph this to see what it looks like. So now let's graph this on Desmos to see if the function f and f inverse are reflections about the line y equals x. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in the function x to the fourth plus 1. So we have x to the fourth and then plus 1. And now we got to put in the restrictions. So on your keyboard you can use braces and then put in x, and then down here it's greater than or equal to 0 with the brace, and you can see that the left part of x to the fourth plus 1 is no longer there because that means everything to the right is greater than or equal to 0. Then we're going to graph y is equal to x, so we put in the graph x, and therefore that is a line going through the origin. And now we're going to graph the fourth root of x minus 1. So we need to go to functions and then select miscellaneous and go down here where it says the nth root. So we have 4, and then inside the radical we have x minus 1, and then we can see that they are reflections of each other. So again, we can see that this graph here represents f of x, which is equal to x to the fourth plus 1, where x is greater than or equal to 0. This line is y is equal to x, and this line is the fourth root of x minus 1.